morning, everyone. I hope you all are having a fantastic Friday morning. I know I sure am. The markets are green, feeling good. Let's start off by addressing the elephant in the room here. I missed yesterday's show completely, guys. I'm so sorry. I had gotten home from work yesterday. Allergies were killing me, so I took a Benadryl. And damn, by the time I woke up, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. I thought about going live right then and there. I figured most of you would be asleep, so that's why we're doing a morning show. A good morning show at that, huh? Clever, right? If you're new here, as always, jump on over to the Twitter, give me a follow. That way, you know, when crap like this happens, you'll be up to date and know what in the world's happening with me. Also, as always, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification, all that jazz. Let's get into it. Whole lot of news, especially since we missed an entire show yesterday. We got some catching up to do. Overall market cap, guys, look at this, sitting at $2.4 trillion. We are up, and we are up beautifully. Dominance, Bitcoin dominance falling all the way down to 44%. ETH dominance up to 17.9%. Gas prices creeping up, sitting at 84 Gwei. Bitcoin currently sitting at $57,364, up 0.2% as of right now. ETH sitting at $3,500, down 0.3%, down almost half a point now, just jumping around on us. Binance Coin sitting at $636, down almost a full point. Doge down a point on the day, it's sitting at 60 cents, but look at that, up 95% on the week. XRP $1.62, down almost 5% on the day. Cardano making some moves at $1.72, up almost 5%. Interesting. Polkadot sitting at $41, up a point and a half. And Bcash down, we'll call it a point on the day. Go ahead and round down. But look at that, up almost 50% on the week. That's incredible. Litecoin sitting at $355, up 3.3% on the day. There's your top 10. Let's jump over and get a check on the old market sentiment here. Find out what people are looking for, what's trending. I always have a hard time getting this site to load up. Come on now. There it is. Look at that. Sitting at number 1 right now. EOS. Wow. WordCloud's got free wallet account. Something going on with EOS. That's interesting. I have no idea what's going on there. Might need to dig in. ETH Classic. I think ETH Classic broke all-time highs last night, if I'm not mistaken. So that's happening still. Doge coming down on the trend, sitting at number 3. It's been at the top of the list all week. OMG, that's interesting. OMG is starting to trend a little bit here. VeChain, Litecoin, ADA, Quantum. You guys over at Up Only were talking about this last night. I wonder if that has something to do with the pump we're seeing here. And BitTorrent, of course, SNL in your top 10. So there's a look at the market sentiment. Let's keep moving along here. Jumping over to DeFi polls. See what's happening with Uniswap. Look at that. Uniswap's TVL really creeping up here since V3 launched. Interesting. Let's see what's happening over on the BSC. Yep, where'd it go? Come on back. Look at that. TVL on the Binance Smart Chain really coming down. $9.5 billion right now on PancakeSwap. That was holding steady over 10 billion. We've lost quite a bit over the past few days, down almost 2% just in the last 24 hours. Yeah, I mean, kind of to be expected. We got a new shiny toy in crypto right now, and that's Uniswap V3. So that's taking some of the spotlight off Cake. But when we get into the charts here, you'll see I think Cake's probably sitting in a really good position right now for a nice little rebound. Here's a quick look at Bitcoin. Taking a quick look at the 5-minute chart here, you can see we're trending up on the day. We kind of bottomed out here around the 55,000 mark last night. Put in a bit of a double bottom there. Now we're trending up. We got some I don't know if you'd call it good news. I mean, you had the jobs report come out today that fell quite a bit short of expectations. I've heard anywhere from they were expecting 1 million jobs gained to 2 million jobs gained, and we only gained about 250,000. So pretty big miscalculation on somebody's part, right? Somebody seems to have not done their job correctly. But Since then, the overall stock market seems to be rallying right alongside the crypto markets here. So we'll see if we can continue this trend throughout the day. All right, let's get into our headlines. A whole lot of news. MercadoLibre has invested $7.8 million into Bitcoin. Latin America's leading e-commerce platform, MercadoLibre, has become the latest publicly traded company to add Bitcoin to its balance sheets. Let's see. It becomes the first major publicly traded firm in Latin America to add the cryptocurrency to its treasury. 7.8 million, according to an SEC filing. Purchase was executed at some point in Q1. However, the exact timing of the buy and the price at which the firm acquired Bitcoin are not detailed. So, yep, that's big news for Latin America. That's a huge e-commerce platform that is now into Bitcoin. Moving on. Court greenlights IRS access to Kraken's customer data. After gaining access to Circle's user data, the IRS is now looking for Kraken's customer data who have failed to comply with internal revenue laws. I think stories like this are why I think we're about to have one incredible DeFi summer. I think this upcoming DeFi summer is going to make last summer look like like child's play. I think we're in for a big one. Just my personal thoughts, not financial advice, of course. A federal court has authorized Internal Revenue Service to access the personal data of some Kraken customers. The tax officers want to identify users who transacted $20,000 or more in crypto between 2016 and 2020. Good lord. 4 years. That's, hope Kraken's been keeping good records. It's, yeah, kind of scary. Kind of scary, right? But, that's why I love DeFi. I love it. Moving on. Iran central bank bans trading of foreign-mined Bitcoin. The ultimate goal may be to prevent capital from leaving the sanction-hit country. The Iran central bank legalized Bitcoin mining in 2019. Last year, it mandated that registered miners sell their earnings to the bank. The Central Bank of Iran has prohibited the trading of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies mined outside the country, according to a report from news outlet Iran International. At first glance, the move is a formality as Iran... Good lord, it's early. Sorry guys, bear with me. As Iran had already effectively banned open trading of cryptocurrency. However, it may signal intent of Iranian regulators to counter the removal of capital from the country. Oil and natural gas deposits make Bitcoin mining in energy-abundant Iran relatively cheap and lucrative. Since legalizing cryptocurrency mining, but not trading, in 2019, Iran has looked to regulate the industry to its advantage. Last October, as Iran looked to avert crippling U.S. sanctions initiated during the Trump administration, the central bank mandated that registered Bitcoin miners within Iran sell the mined tokens to CBI. The move gave the country an alternative way of paying for imports that bypassed foreign currency restrictions. There's the tweet, for those of you that can read Sanskrit. This week's prohibition comes with some obvious logistic hurdles, such as how exactly one ensures, quote, foreign BTC stays out of Iran. Attorney Fatma Fend, not even going to try to butcher it, enforceably among individual holders may not be the goal. Quote, I don't think it will be enforced on an individual level, she tweeted. Exchange platforms can basically not operate, but instead of a blanket ban, it allows banks and forex offices to use Iranian crypto for internal transfers. The last part is key, as Iran is one of the few countries locked out of SWIFT, an international network for transferring money. The others are Cuba, North Korea, Syria, Sudan, and the Crimea region in Ukraine. Boy, that's not a list you'd want to be on. Good lord. This just means that Iran wants to export Iranian-produced coins more aggressively, encouraging mining and counter-capital flight in the face of depreciating rial, which must be their currency. The rial lost 80% of its value against the dollar between January 2017 and January 2021. Good lord. During the same span, Bitcoin's value increased over 3,800%. So yeah, I wanted to really get through that entire story just because it's a big deal, right? This is... I don't know if you'd call it a threat to cryptocurrencies, but I get that it's doing good things for countries that desperately need it, but damn, when those countries are bad actors like Iran, it can be a bit frightening, right? And it can sometimes make us rethink what we're doing in crypto. I heard Crypto Crow talking yesterday on BitBoy's evening show, as much of a joke as that really is. But anyway, he was talking about how, it is becoming a real fear that destroying or devaluing the US dollar, what that really means. The whole talk of having our own one world currency and all that, that's all fun to talk about and everything. And, I couldn't agree more, right? Couldn't agree more. But it does become extremely frightening when you really do consider the repercussions of what it means to completely debase the value of the American dollar and what that means on a global scale. Yeah, it makes me worry for my kid and my family, and yeah, all that. So, something to think about, I guess, as we're sitting here discussing global events. Moving on. India's central bank-owned retail payments platform refuses to ban crypto transactions. The National Payments Corporation of India has asked banks to take a call on whether to block cryptocurrency transactions. So yeah, we've had news over the past month or so that India is, banning cryptocurrency. They're not banning cryptocurrency. They're regulating cryptocurrency. They don't know what they're doing. And this is the news we get today, that their central bank has just basically refused to ban cryptos, and they are basically asking their lawyers what they ought to be doing. So I thought that was interesting. We've got the central banks of India going, yeah, okay, we can't ban this. Our local currency is screwed. We can't ban this. We need it. Moving on. SEC Chair Gensler calls for Congress to work on investor protections for crypto exchanges. Gary Gensler, the newly named chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission, is asking Congress to make key decisions around crypto regulations. While testifying during a May 6th hearing at the House Financial Services Committee on market volatility surrounding GameStop and other meme-ified securities, Gensler fielded a question from ranking member Patrick McHenry about concrete steps to, quote, further the crypto market. Quote, the market, which is close to $2 trillion, the crypto asset market, is one that could benefit from greater investor protection, Gensler commented. He goes on to say, I do not think working in Congress, and I think it's only Congress that can really address it, would be good to consider, whether to bring greater investor protection to the crypto exchanges. And I think that if it were to be the case, because right now the exchanges trading these crypto assets do not have regulatory framework either at the SEC or at any site or at our site agency, the CFTC, that could instill greater confidence. Right now there's not a market regulator around these crypto exchanges, and thus there's really not protection against fraud or manipulation, Gensler went on to say. The crypto community has been watching Gensler's term at the SEC with great interest, largely because his resume includes more extensive crypto experience than his predecessor. Gensler is also laying the groundwork for new reports on manipulation of capital markets via social media, as well as the prospect of same-day or T+0 settlement. Quote, it will take a lot of work by many parties. We now have the technology to further shorten the settlement cycles. Not only the settlement cycle we had a century ago, but even to same-day settlement, said Gensler. I believe shortening the standard settlement cycle could reduce costs and risks in our markets. I've directed the SEC staff to put together a draft proposal for the Commission's review on this topic. When it comes to T+0, Gensler finds himself on the same side of Robinhood's CEO, Vlad Tenev, who has consistently argued that a shortened settlement time could have averted the drama surrounding Robinhood earlier this year as GameStop and other meme-friendly stocks saw their values rise sharply. Gensler further noted that the SEC was paying more attention to interactions between social media and market behavior. Institutional tools measuring social media responses can create a dangerous feedback loop. Gensler says, quote, the practice called sentiment analysis has picked up steam in the last couple of years, and it has grown to include online communities. With that comes the risk that nefarious actors may try to send signals to manipulate the market. This is an area for which we will continue to deepen our understanding, resources, and capabilities. Among legislations on the table at Thursday's hearing is one bill that would require SEC to report on the role of gamification in investment. Gamification, the bill suggests, is a form of marketing that, when it touches on investments, may feature elements on investment advice. A lot of people think that this was the reason our market saw corrections yesterday. I don't know. I'd put out a tweet yesterday saying that obviously some giant company had just bought Bitcoin, and that was the reason for the market correction. And already, by news we're getting today, it would seem that was probably the case. But moving on. Square reports $3.5 billion in Bitcoin revenue via the Cash App for its first quarter of 2021. Yep, that happened. Square's Cash App brought in $3.5 billion in Bitcoin revenue during the first quarter of 2021, according to Tuesday's earnings release. The firm made $75 million of Bitcoin gross profit during the same period. Quote, Bitcoin revenue and gross profit benefited from a year-over-year increase in the price of Bitcoin, Bitcoin actives, and growth in customer demand. In future quarters, we recognize that Bitcoin revenue may fluctuate as a result of changes in customer demand or the market price of Bitcoin, the firm said. So, yep. Wow, there's a chart for you. Look at that. Square's Cash App Bitcoin sales volume did $3.5 billion in Q1, $75 million in gross profit. My goodness. You know, every bank in the world is looking at this chart right now going, wow, how did we miss this, guys? You gotta imagine investment bankers all over the world have just been getting fired left and right lately for missing this crypto bull run. My goodness. Moving on. Goldman Sachs to offer Bitcoin derivatives to Wall Street, says a report. The global investment bank will begin offering Bitcoin futures in the form of non-deliverable forwards to large investors. I don't know what non-deliverable forwards are. Just when you thought you knew it all, Goldman Sachs comes in with bigger words than I understand. Now it's going after big spenders. Goldman Sachs, a global investment bank worth over $2 trillion in assets. That's cute. They're only worth $2 trillion. And assets under management will begin allowing large investors the chance to bet on the future price of Bitcoin. I feel like this isn't good for our markets. That's the feeling I'm getting right now. According to a report from Bloomberg, Goldman has begun using, quote, non-deliverable forwards. These are short-term future contracts that pay cash to investors who can accurately predict the future price of Bitcoin. Wow. Wow. So basically, they're just guessing whether the price goes up or down. Pretty sure PancakeSwap has a casino-like thing that you can go do that allows you to do that exact same thing. It reminds me a bit of that scene in Vegas Vacation, where he goes to that B-rate casino where they're playing, guess how many fingers I'm holding up, and tic-tac-toe. That's what this reminds me of. With the move, Goldman positions itself to make money off of one of Bitcoin's seemingly negative aspects, volatility. The price of Bitcoin has whipsawed between a record high of $63,000 and $49,000 in the last month. It's currently priced in the middle, just at $56,000. So, yeah, that's your Goldman Sachs doing shady crap getting into our market in effort to manipulate it in ways that we'll never understand news. Moving on. Citibank is considering launching crypto trading and custody services. You guys seen a trend with today's headlines? I know I sure am. Banking giant Citigroup is considering launching crypto trading, custody, and financing services. Ite Tonchman, Citi's global head of foreign exchange, told the Financial Times in a report published Friday that the bank had seen a, quote, very rapid accumulation of interest in Bitcoin from large clients since August. Quote, there are different options from our perspective, and we are considering where we can best service our clients. This is not going to be a prop trading effort, says Touchman, referring to proprietary trading in which banks trade their own money to make profit. Citi, however, is in no rush to launch crypto services. Touchman said the bank would jump in when it's confident it can build something that benefits clients that regulators can support. Quote, I don't have any FOMO. I believe that crypto is here to stay. Wow, that's a big statement. And that we are just at the very beginning of the market, he said. This isn't a space race. There is room for more than just one flag. That, ladies and gentlemen, is one hell of a statement. Still think you're late to the party? Certainly hope not. Moving on. Digital Currency Group, which I believe is the group that owns Grayscale. Somebody fact check me on that. That's, if I remember correctly, Digital Currency Group, DCG, owns Grayscale. But yeah, somebody fact check me. Run a Google search, quick! Digital Currency Group invests in South Korea crypto exchange. DCG has become the second largest shareholder in blockchain company Streamy, operator of crypto exchange GoPax. The crypto-focused venture capital company, also a parent company of CoinDesk, is now the second largest shareholder in blockchain company Streamy, according to an email announcement on Thursday. The size of the investment was not disclosed. Streamy is the operator crypto exchange GoPax, which has a 24-hour trading volume of about $115 million. The investment suggests DCG is not concerned that GoPax will be hurt by the country's move to a stricter regulatory environment. Exchanges in the country have until September 4th to register as virtual asset service providers, allowing the state to determine the legality of the company's operations with regard to fraud, money laundering, and so on. The head of Financial Services Commission, South Korea's regulator, suggested in April that all crypto exchanges in the country could be shut down in September because they had not registered. The investment deal also suggests a partnership between Streamy and Genesis, a digital asset lender and DCG subsidiary, that will see GoPax harness Genesis' liquidity pool to offer savings products. In December, GoPax launched its savings product, GoFi, which has user deposits of some $600 million. That's interesting, right? That you've got such a large company going to buy a crypto exchange in South Korea, where they've had nothing but FUD for the past 2 months about those exchanges being shut down and seeing regulations. So, I don't know. I think if we put our tinfoil hat on, we can come up with some pretty fun theories about this. But, moving on. Oh, goodness. Coinbase to close San Francisco headquarters to go, quote, remote first. Yep, in the age of COVID. Uh-oh, sneeze. Maybe. False alarm? False alarm. We're good. We're good. Okay. Coinbase to close San Francisco headquarters to go, quote, remote first. The U.S. crypto exchange debuted on the U.S. public markets earlier this year and remains grounded to the decentralized ethos. U.S. crypto exchange Coinbase is closing down its San Francisco headquarters in order to become a remote-first business, it announced Wednesday. Coinbase is one of the world's largest crypto exchanges and possesses billions of dollars. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Here's the tweet. Coinbase is committed to going remote first. We announced we are no longer have an HQ, and as a next step, we're closing our San Francisco office. So this is no different than what Binance has already done. Binance has been doing this for years, right? Nobody can tell you where the Binance HQ is because the Binance HQ doesn't exist. Wherever CZ decides to sleep at night, that's the HQ of Binance. So, yeah, I think this is cool. I think this is a trend we're going to see across the board with, hell, every business, right? If employees can work from home, that means it's more profitable for the employer. For the most part, right? As long as productivity stays up. Moving on. This I thought was pretty big news. Nokia. You guys remember Nokia? Didn't we all have a giant Nokia brick phone like 10 years ago that had crime deterrent on it? Or if somebody tried to take it, you could just beat them to death with your phone? Yeah, they're launching a blockchain-powered marketplace for data trading. The marketplace is aimed at providing enterprises and communication services. Communication service providers access to trusted data sets. My brain just completely backfired on me. Finnish telecom giant Nokia says it has designed a blockchain-based marketplace as a service to facilitate the sharing of data and artificial intelligence. That's pretty cool. There's a interview, I guess. Oh, that's the Nifty Gateway guy. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be interested in looking at Nokia's stock price right now. They might just be coming back from the dead. Moving on. Bitcoin options traders leaning bearish despite price recovery. Bitcoin's price recovery fails to subdue fears of a deeper bull market pullback. I know we're always looking at options here. Tells the future, right? The top cryptocurrency jumped 8% on Wednesday, erasing Tuesday's slide from $57 to $53,000 as the U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen backtracked comments suggesting interest rate hikes may be needed to stop the economy from overheating. Bitcoin is currently trading at $58,000, representing a 21% gain on lows near $48,000 seen at the end of April. The recovery, however, has failed to subdue fears of a deeper bull market correction. The one-week put-call skew remains entrenched in positive territory for the third straight week and a sign of persistent demand for short-term put options or bearish bets. Traders look to be buying protected puts, purchasing puts against long Bitcoin positions in a spot or futures market. The put call skew is a gauge of the value of puts relative to calls. A positive skew implies the demand for puts, bearish option bets, is outstripping calls or bullish bets. Here's our chart looking like it was drawn by a third grader with a crown. But yeah, options are still implying a bearish move here, so something to keep in mind for Bitcoin. But if we hop over here to our next headline, paints a different story. ETH traders load up on $8,000 call options. Yeah. Increasing demand for deep out-of-the-money call options is reflective of strong bullish sentiment. So people are bearish on Bitcoin, but incredibly bullish on ETH. So bullish that they think we're going to $8,000. That's pretty wild. So, yep. Something to keep in mind moving forward. Options are implying a bearish move on Bitcoin, but a bullish move on ETH. FTX exchange launches lumber futures. This made me laugh. Known for its agile response and catering to market interest, FTX has just listed lumber futures. Because what have we been talking about? We've got the Fed saying every day that inflation isn't real, or just look the other way, but yet we look at prices of lumber, for example, that are up like, 1,200% in the past few months? It's insane. If you want to see what real inflation looks like, just hop over to the lumber prices and take a look. And people will argue, oh, it's supply chain issues. That's the big argument we get from the Fed and our government. Could be a little bit of both. It could be. It could be. Following a surge in demand for lumber, FTX has launched a lumber futures market. FTX is known for its nimble approach to the market. It offers a wide variety of futures and prediction markets unavailable on other crypto exchanges. FTX is one of the fastest growing crypto exchanges, processing almost $19 billion of volume on its derivatives offering. I firmly believe that these derivatives are going to be the death of our market, but what do I know? I'm just a graphics guy. Moving on. What do we got here? Oh, yes. Yes, you guys know I'm a big fan of Edward Snowden, bit of a hero of mine. He says, quote, "Bitcoin must be private by design." Former NSA contractor Edward Snowden discusses what crypto and decentralized finance might mean for the future of privacy. I have not watched this interview, but I think as soon as we get done with our show here, I am going to go and immediately watch it. Edward Snowden appeared at this year's Ethereal Summit to discuss the future of crypto and privacy. He was joined by Marta Belcher, a fierce advocate for digital freedom. Yeah, I suggest everybody go check this out. This article's over on Decrypt. I'm sure they got the link here to the actual interview. Yep, there it was. There it is. Let's see, can I share? I'll just share this over on Twitter right now. Maybe. Copy. Boop, boop, boop. We'll call this a must-watch. Bam. And there it is. That easy. Isn't technology crazy? Too much fun. So yeah, that's your Edward Snowden interview news. Next up, Crypto.com signs exclusive deal with Italian Football League to launch crypto and NFTs. Lega Serie A has signed, I don't know, soccer, guys, football, excuse me, has signed an exclusive deal with one of the world's fastest growing crypto exchanges, an NFT platform, Crypto.com. Yep. Every day it seems like we're getting new sports leagues, whether it be football or baseball or basketball. Every day, new sports teams are entering the NFT space. Another paper on the road to mass adoption. Moving on. Last up on our headlines, Jay-Z, A16Z, back $19 million funding round for NFT platform Bitsky. I like that name, Bitsky. Tennis star Serena Williams was also among the investors backing the former crypto wallet startup. Wow, so it's just a wallet? Describing himself as Shopify for NFTs, Bitsky aims to provide an easy platform for brands, game developers, and consumers to buy and sell digital goods. Serena Williams and Ari Emanuel, the CEO of media agency Endeavor, are also listed among investors who participated in the round, according to an announcement Thursday. Bitsky was backed by Galaxy Digital. Of course it was. Mike Novogratz, that guy's into everything. Winklevoss Capital and Coinbase Ventures in a 1.8 million seed funding round. My goodness, keep your eye on Bitsky, guys. This thing seems to have the attention of all the whales in the space. At the time, Bitsky's focus was to developing a crypto wallet that could easily embed into other applications such as video games. Wow. The company has now pivoted towards the NFT market, providing a platform for the sale of NFTs such as brands Adidas and WWE. That's huge news, guys. Huge. Keep an eye on that. Bitsky. Alright, that's it for headlines. Let's take a quick look at the charts here. Find out what's happening here on the day. Not much. You can see Bitcoin here. We're still moving sideways on the day, so we're in an uptrend, not completely sideways. Take a quick look at dominance. Dominance also kind of trending up, right? That's something to keep an eye on. What's ETH doing? Wow, ETH's on the move. Let's see if they can get through this previous line of resistance here at the 3,500 mark. 3,545 looks to be a little bit of resistance. We shall see. Binance Coin on the move as well. Seems to be moving right alongside ETH. Also looks to be running into some resistance right here around $638. We shall see if it can get through that and continue on our green day here. Cake. Wow, Cake is really on the move. Look at that. Cake just blasted through the resistance and is now looking for a big move to the upside. Looks like our next point on Cake's going to be up here around $38. We'll see if we can get through that. Let's do a quick recap of where I'm at on my liquidity provision. If you remember, we began providing liquidity way back yonder, and remember our pairing is a BNB Cake pairing right now. And you'll see, as we look at our 4-hour chart, we began providing right back here. And remember what our plan was, is we anticipated the drawdown here. That's why we began providing liquidity, because we anticipated a drawdown. We anticipated maybe putting in a double bottom, coming back up, and moving on to higher highs. And our idea, or our strategy, is to pull our liquidity out right here as we get back to our original position, collect all these fees in between, and then ride out the breakout moving forward. That's the goal. Everything seems to be working out as planned. As long as we can make it back up to our original position, then it'll be mission accomplished. And so far, so good. I will say this, it definitely gets to be nerve-wracking, even when the trend is following exactly what you predicted, even when the strategy is going exactly the way you thought it was. It definitely gets to be nerve-wracking when you're falling so far away from your position, right? That's something that's just really, really hard to shake. But I'll tell you what softens the blow is you know that you're making money the whole way down, right? That certainly softens the blow. If we had just taken a spot position up here, we'd be having trouble sleeping at night, right? But since we're doing something that's gaining us money, we can actually sleep at night and not have panic attacks. Moving on. Bake came down to a great spot here and got a beautiful bounce. We'll see if we can't get all the way. It's got a long way to go to get back up to its all-time high. I mean, you're looking at sitting at $5 right now, $5.69. It's got to get all the way back up to $8.53. Well, we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if we just move sideways here for the next few months until we get another big catalyst on the Binance Smart Chain. That or people just start FOMOing into random altcoins, right? But you know, what do we always say about Bake? We're not necessarily in Bake for the gains, although the gains are nice. We actually use the Bake coin and because we truly believe in what they're doing over there, and we love our NFTs, and we can't mint our NFTs without a little bit of BNB and some Bake. So we always hold the little bag no matter what. Next up, Harmony. Starting to reverse the trend here a little bit. We're getting closer to our position. We're actually right back up to it, which is great to see. We had fallen all the way back down here, so we've gotten some good price action today that has put us back up to our position. Still very bullish. I'd love to see Harmony get back up here to its previous all-time highs. That would be a great trade for me. I'd love to see that. Encouraging. We're working in the right direction, so we'll keep an eye on it. XRP also had a pretty large move during the night. Yeah, you see, this was our move overnight, and just working our way up this trend. Definitely expect to see XRP make some big moves if we get any sort of catalyst come out of the lawsuit that's going on between XRP and the SEC right now. Dogecoin kind of giving up some today, right? Looks like there might have been some front running of tomorrow's SNL skit with Elon. I imagine people are kind of selling the news today, which I think we all saw coming, right? Don't have to be a Nostradamus to see this, but the day's not over. The day's not over. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another pump going into tomorrow. Last up on my list, Spark Point. You guys know I'm a big fan of Spark Point, and it looks like we've finally broken out of the downward price channel that we were in, the ascending triangle. We've got a nice breakout, and it looks like we're going to start putting in a series of higher highs and higher lows. Anxious to see where this ends up. I would love to see this project really explode, right? Get up to $1, and we see the whole 100x thing. But I'm definitely going to be taking profits as we approach previous all-time highs. We're definitely going to be taking some off the table here. Probably take most of it off the table and just let house money right after that would be my plan. Because that'll be a nice little return. That'll be almost a 2x in itself. Moving on. Nope, that's all we got. Alright guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. As always, if you liked the content, if you enjoyed today's show, hop on over to Twitter, give me a follow. Make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, ping that notification bell, right, so that you can stay up to date on when we're going live. Usually it's around 4 o'clock every day. Kind of try to play with the time frame a little bit, see if we can find a time frame that works better for everybody, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, guys, thanks again. Have a great day.